So if there's one person who is good at covering controversial topics with, a sense of style, sense of grace, ability to kind of go over things with a fine-toothed comb in detail, but still expedient, able to be, you know, calm, collected, convey his feelings well, um, able to kind of bridge ideological gaps people build around themselves. That's probably me. That's probably me, if I'm going to be honest with you. I am a bit of an expert at doing that, as you may know, being a fan of Matt McMean. I'm so glad to be back talking about actual political stuff. Um, so glad because I'm good at it. So clearly, I mean, you're obviously glad too. So yeah, I'm an expert, so that's what I'm going to be talking about. Controversial topic of sex work. Now, in addition to just being good at talking about controversial things in general, I am also, of course, double qualified by being a very knowledgeable about sex. Big fan of it, have it frequently, knowledgeable about all the various stuff surrounding it. Very smart, good at it. I know all the stuff about it. So, I'm double qualified, which means I'm probably 3 times more qualified than any dumb fuck in the comment section who tries to talk shit about me, okay? So if you're considering doing that, better think twice, because I'm going to pwn you in the comments. And, just while I'm waiting for my pizza, my Kroger frozen pizza cooking in the oven currently. This video, of course, brought to you by Kroger, very sex positive company, very pro sex worker. They may decide to pull the sponsorship after they see this video, but I'm a brave man. Okay, I don't care about their censorship, trying to censor my opinion. I'm gonna just say what I feel. And that was a big goofy intro, but this is actually a serious video because I do have some opinions on sex work, even though I haven't exactly done the most research into the various arguments on each side, the pro and anti sex worker side. But I've come to my own common sense conclusions, which is how you know they're they're better, more important, gooder, more logical than any other ones because I'm using common sense, okay? I you don't need to do research when you're using common sense, okay? Cuz it's just, common sense. Okay? So you can't even argue with me on this one. Um so to cut to the chase a little bit, um I do think that sex work should be, legalized and regulated under any kind of capitalist system. Living in any kind of capitalist country, I think prostitution or I don't know any fucking other kind of sex work you could think of would be and should be regulated. Protections for the various workers therein, so that they are safe and good. And I feel this way because prostitution, not prostitution specifically, but sex work in general, has been um, a way for marginalized people, women, LGBT people, way for them to um, be economically, safer, be economically self sufficient in some cases, when a lot of times their only other options were to starve. And that's both historically and continuing even into the modern day. Sex work can be one of the only profitable things that a woman or an LGBT person can go into, depending on their circumstances. So I think we should keep it around because of that and legalize it because that just provides the most safety, provides the best working environment for those people to make sure that they aren't super exploited by, pimps or whatever, all that kind of stuff. Um, because that's bad. That's bad. But, and hopefully that's not a very controversial opinion among leftists. But in a revolutionary context, in the context of a socialist country, I do not think that prostitution should. I keep saying prostitution because that's like generally what I think of when I think of sex work is either prostitution or like selling nudes on fucking Venmo or some shit. That's just what I think of. I'm sorry if that is actually offensive for some reason that I wouldn't know about. That I keep accidentally just conflating those two as the same thing. Like I said, I'm very informed, very smart. That's me. Um, but yes, under a socialist government, I don't think that sex work should really continue. Um, because, for one, my primary reason for thinking that it's fine under capitalism is that it's the only way for a lot of marginalized people to to be able to be economically secure to a certain extent. The only way for them to make a living sometimes. Under socialism, however, where that would no longer really be a concern, I don't think that sex work justifies itself without that economic factor behind it. I think that it really isn't a very productive form of labor. There are fucking flies and shit around here. Goddamn. Doesn't really benefit anyone in this context. I mean, people need sex. People are sexual creatures, any of that kind of stuff. I understand that. Um, I feel that in my ideal kind of socialist thing, and hopefully in what would be kind of a new thing, um, but an increased um, relaxation of sexual standards, cultural revolution to increase sex positivity. Hopefully, that would become much less of like a thing, like a scarcity of sex. We're gonna do government. We're gonna supply men with government subsidized wives, and that way everyone can get sex. Government redistribute means of production and includes the means of reproduction. So sorry, women, that's just what we're gonna have to be doing. I'm sorry. um, but yeah, I think people like to do sex work. I understand that. For whatever reason, that's all fine and cool. But under socialism, I mean, doing that for profit, that really isn't helping anybody. So just don't do it for profit. You can still fucking just share nudes with people or whatever, or make porn for free or something, or just go have sex with people. I guess if they whatever. Um, just doing it for money, really, not really necessary in socialism. So yeah, that's my opinion. But it's basically fact because, like I said, double expert, three times as right as you. So that's yeah.